book makes such a good movie. It hits in all the right places. Like, it's really sad, but it is so fun. Like, I love this book and this movie.
Translating a book to a movie is really difficult. Things, you know, you love from the book sometimes doesn't translate, but they did it in such an incredible way.
Not every great book can be adapted, but I think that the amount of story with the amount of emotional character exploration made this a pretty obvious book that needed adaptation.
All right, we are rolling.
I am really good friends with Anna Todd, and she started her production company, Frayed Pages. She approached me about wanting to turn this one into a film, and a few years later, here we are.
It's gonna take your whole hand off.
I know.
I mean, I didn't really know anything about Colleen Hoover. I'd never read anything she wrote until they sent me the script for Regretting You. I read that, and then I read the book.
All right, so again, pictures up.
Let's do it again.
Tim's good with that.
What captured me and drew me, it was certainly the personal and emotional problems that mother and daughter go through over the course of the movie and how they come out in the other end stronger and in a better place in their lives, even though the terrible things happen.
It's that time.
Oh my gosh, of course it is.
I didn't know that this was a book until after I was already becoming a part of it, and they like randomly mentioned it during one of our Zooms, and I was like, wait, who was gonna tell me? After the fact, of course, I read it. The dialogue in the book felt like really fun and natural. Like, it doesn't feel like somebody older writing a teenager's dialogue. It just feels like they're talking.
Remark.
Oh, shit. Miller and Shelby broke up last night. Shelby thought Miller cheated on her with you.
I just gave him a ride home.
There are all different types of rides, Clara.
Stop it.
Her writing is so real. It's messy, and she always finds the humor also in the tragedy of things. So her voice really resonates with me.
The first time I read Colleen Hoover's book, I felt so struck by her skill at being able to put the reader in the shoes of whoever we are with at any given moment in the book. And I think that's something that's like a superpower of Colleen Hoover's. She's a keen observer of humanity, and she is able to make the parts of us that are confusing and unflattering and kind of mysterious to us very clear and kind of relatable on the page.
It's easy to fall in love with these characters who are going through such heavy things and being so vulnerable.
I just want to leave.
It just feels so real, especially with these characters and the way it's written. It feels like real people. You got and I just want to do Miller the best justice I can. Theater 4.
I want all of the emotions when I'm reading a book. I want the angst, I want the comedy, I want the heartbreak. It's just sometimes hard to pull that off on film. It's easier to do in a book because you have more real estate to do all of those different emotions.
As part of the team of people who's responsible for bringing it to life, it's immediately intimidating because with any book adaptation, you know that you are breathing life into something that exists so personally for people up to this point. They have their own Morgan in their mind's eye. They have their own Grant House. They have their own, Clara. All of these characters they've already cast either with like their own generated images or people they've dream cast for the movie in Reddit forums or whatever. And so it is equal parts intimidating and also really exciting to try to hit a mark that I, as a book reader, would have wanted this movie's adaptation team to hit.
Just smile and act natural.
How do I always get roped into this?
The things we do for love. Of pizza.
I hate falling in love with a book and then you see the movie and it's nothing like the book. So my feeling is I really hug the book as tightly as possible. We obviously had to trim things because it's a long book, but even if we couldn't tackle in as much depth as it was in the book, we made sure it was peppered in the movie.
I'm such a nerd whenever it comes to like book adaptations where I'm like, whenever I watch them, I'm always like, oh my God, like, oh, this wasn't in there or this wasn't in there. And so whenever I first read it and then I read the book and then I was doing my little cross-referencing, I was like, you know what? I feel like we did good. There's like some bits that I loved that we couldn't fit into the film, but it's like, then again, it's a movie, so you can only fit what you can. And I feel like we really got a lot of my favorite parts of the book in there.
A toast. Because I got accepted into UNCSA's drama program.
What? Yay! Cheers to me.
This movie is dealing with very heavy themes. There's a lot of very dramatic twists and turns. And so to give the audience permission to laugh is very important, just to kind of release the air for a second.
Lexi, I think you should head home right about now.
Staying over, remember? We've all got to ride this shit out together.
Cut.
They are in among the worst, most devastating circumstances you can find yourself in life. Imagining going through that, and anytime I've gone through anything hard, levity and humor are the companions to the tragedy and to the misery.
Clara Grant!
Oh my God.
Get in the car, I've been calling you!
So having the opportunity to have the valve turned down in the tonal world of the movie every once in a while is so nice.
Please pretend this isn't
Is
happening.
this better?
Yes!
Get in the car!
And to be able to play the parts of human nature that are ridiculous in the face of big human emotions is really nice.
Hey, Mark!
All of us here are doing our best to encapsulate the characters from the book, but also I think that it's great because you can also watch this not having read the book and totally be fine and have this whole story and have it be like a surprise and such a fun experience.
There's so many things contained within this movie. That's part of what makes it so fun to make. It's just been an absolute delight.
I hope this movie becomes one of the movies within this genre that people continue to watch forever.
Seeing the book come to life in a way that I hoped it would come to life. I fell in love with the characters all over again while watching the movie. They all did such a good job. Like, I was so captivated by how they took these characters from the page onto screen and became them. I was like, oh, they know what they're doing, they did it well, they respected the source material. I just think that readers are going to be really pleased.
How did we both end up with our exact opposites?
Morgan and Jonah are wired very similarly. They're both thinking like opposites attract, you know, this is just the way we've found each other.
Jonah at the beginning of the movie starts in a place where he's always trying to do the right thing, even if that goes against kind of what his heart is telling him. He is clearly harboring deep emotional feelings for Morgan.
I want things to be okay with us.
Jonah. Morgan has been successful to this point at being able to ignore the version of life that would have played out that way. And she has been vigilant about supporting the choices that she made and just living in them and putting one foot in front of the other. And then again, the events of the movie just make it so that Morgan cannot not think about Jonah anymore. Now Morgan is seeing Jonah every day, and that it makes it a lot harder to ignore.
She's never really had to deal with it until these deaths happen. And I think it opens up for Morgan things that she has not done in her life because she's spent so much of her life devoted to her daughter and her husband. And Jonah, you know, he has regrets from back when he was in love with Morgan when they were in high school.
By the end of the film, he loosens up and he just kind of goes after what he wants, which is Morgan. I've wanted you since the day I met you.
She makes the choice that, you know what, like there's just this feeling in my gut that we should do this. This couple that's falling for each other, but have had things in the way for all these years, but have had this undeniable kind of invisible string between the two of them. Morgan's life became completely different from anything she predicted, and she's kind of watching her own daughter go through that exact moment.
Oh my God, Miller Adams is following you?
I gave him a ride today. We're, in a sense, what could have been for them if Morgan and Jonah would have had that as teenagers.
He's always had a thing for McKenna's character, Clara Grant, and it's kind of the conflict within him to really show his feelings and break up with Shelby and get with Clara or you know, be the bad guy. And there's not really a good way to handle that situation, but you kind of just have to follow where your heart tells you to go, which is told him to go with Clara.
If anything, Shelby was my backup plan to you.
I've had a thing for you for a very long time, too. Him and Clara work so well together because she's going through so much emotionally, so I think that it's so nice to have that communication and that presence there that's so emotionally understanding. I think that that's such an important thing in a relationship.
What I think when I see the younger relationship is that these two people are very brave, and they're brave about expressing their feelings. They have this understanding somehow, even at that young age, that life is short, and they interpret that to mean that you should love boldly and be honest about your feelings. And even if you have to hurt someone, that hurt is so much more temporary if you're honest about it right away than if you try to cover it up for a lifetime.
Thank you for clicking on our video, everybody. If you like what you saw here, please make sure you like the video and subscribe and share with your friends who like this sort of content. Joblo remains an independent company, and we appreciate all of your support.